Obviously, there's many rules when you're in the library. Don't run, don't talk, don't do anything out of the ordinary. But what is ordinary? What is normal and what is not? And what happens when you don't obey the rules? Will there be voices in the shadows who will want you to keep quiet? Grab a blanket, turn off your lights, and remember, keep quiet. Because here's 3 ghost stories at the library. Quiet in the library. I was searching for a very small book in a rather large library. I had been looking for a good 30 minutes and I had wandered into one of the back sections of the world history section. I didn't mind. I'm usually in a library of some kind, and being alone is something I have been used to for so many years. I kept looking for the book, but also had an eye out for my then boyfriend Dan. He liked to sneak up on me and see how high I would jump. Real charmer, that one. I was about to give up and stood for a squatting position when I double-checked for the billionth time. I heard shh in my right ear. I jumped, of course, and was about to tear into Dan. I turned to my right side and no one was there. I was completely alone in the entire room. I suddenly didn't need that book so badly after all, and well, booked it. I rushed to the counter to check out the books I did have and asked if anyone else was there, hoping Dan had tricked me somehow. Nope, you're the last one. Have a nice day. The librarian smiled and walked me to the door, where she promptly locked it after me. I have no idea who it might have been, but they were a real stickler for the rules. I'd only mumbled the words, "Damn book." Night at the library. During my college days, I used to stay in the hostel. I was an active member of Readers Club of my college library. During winter seasons, our college headmaster assigned us the task of cleaning the library, as every month teams of students do it. I was along with 4 other guys and we were all very close friends. Our cleaning task started after 8 p.m. when the library was closed for readers. I decided to clean the cupboards, which had some old books of literature and were really dusty. The particular section was at the cornermost area and was really spooky. From childhood, whenever I have visited any strange places, a strange fear develops inside of me, and I feel like all the hairs on my body, like there's a static electric bonding in it. I had sensed this during my cleaning. I sensed that this portion is really haunted. As I was cleaning the cupboard, a cold wave of wind blew over my hairs from back, and the tube lights started blinking. When I turned around, I saw a middle-aged man dressed in black coat carrying a few books in his hand, staring at me. That moment made me numb. I felt my willpower becoming less and less, and fear was developing in my body. As he passed near me, the tube lights above us were blinking, and then he just vanished. When he passed near me, I could sense a cold wave passing through me and felt some electric magnetic waves. My face was full of sweat, and as soon as he left, the lights became normal. I really heaved a sigh of relief, but this incident clearly gave me an idea that spirits have static electricity, or they can control magnetic waves or electric waves. That's the reason lights were blinking. I didn't share this incident with any of my friends, but when I shared this incident with the librarian, I came to know that it was the spirit of a literature professor who still used the library to feed his hunger of knowledge. The John at the library. I was on my 4th year in college when this incident happened. We were assigned to do a research proposal as part of our requirements in order to receive our bachelor's degree. I was so busy reading a thesis in the library that I didn't notice it was already 8 in the evening. The library custodian tapped me and asked me to leave as I was the only student left and they were about to close. I immediately gathered my things, thanked the custodian, and left. The Philippine Normal University's library is a 5-story building. The ground floor had several rooms that were being used for meetings, seminars, and classes. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th levels were where the books were kept. The last floor had an auditorium and offices for library officials and staff. The thesis for graduate and undergraduate studies were located at the 3rd level. In addition, all floors had restrooms. Now back to the story. Before I went down, I dropped by the restroom to relieve myself. When I entered, I knew that nobody was there since all the stall doors were open and no one was at the lavatory. I chose to use the first stall, and as I sat there, I started to hear faint sobs, as if someone was just done crying. I thought that another person came in after me. Funny thing was, I didn't hear the restroom door open or close, as it does if someone enters. I felt the hairs on my back stand on end, and I couldn't move. I was starting to freak out when I found the courage to stand up and get out of the stall. I don't know if it was just a panic attack or something else, but I couldn't open the door. I was trapped inside and no one was there to help me. Desperately, I crawled under the door just to get out. I was still on all fours when I saw feet on the ground. I raised my eyes and was screaming like mad with what I saw because the owner of the feet had a body without a head, but I could still hear the sobs. I can't remember how I managed to get out of the John still on fours. The last thing I could remember was the roving guard asking what happened and then being brought to the clinic. They called our house number and my uncle came to pick me up. I wasn't able to come to school 3 days after the incident. Everyone thought that I was attacked in the restroom because it wasn't until the 2nd day that I was able to tell my story. It was hard going back to school because people thought I just made everything up. It's been almost 5 years since I graduated, and every time I come across someone from my batch, I'd be asked about the time that I was at the John in the 3rd level of the library